Is Audra the most recent victim in an unbelievable whodunit? Updates and spoilers for the young and the restless hint that Audra Charles might be poisoned in an attempt to kill her. With Audra at the center of the intrigue and numerous people interested in a whodunit, is a new mystery developing? There will soon be a new police detective in Genoa City. On October 16th, Matt Cohen, who formerly played Dr. Griffin Monroe on General Hospital, will make his debut as Detective Burrow. This indicates that Y&R will undoubtedly need his experience for a major inquiry. Detective Burrow will be front and center investigating a major case featuring some of the soap's key characters, according to Entertainment Weekly. This makes us wonder what Detective Burrow's case might be about, and suggests a significant plot that will probably include a number of the show's protagonists. The fact that Audra has been reminding everyone about Claire's history of poisoning, a topic that has come up strangely frequently, raises the possibility that the show is moving in a certain path with a subplot. Claire spiking her drink. Audra jokes with Sally Spectra. In the September 8th episode, Audra will joke with Sally Spectra about Claire Newman perhaps adding something to her drink, stating that she is frothing at the mouth. This could be another indication that Audra may soon become a poison victim. Other characters who wish to see Audra go include Jack Abbott, Victor Newman, Victoria Newman, and Kyle Abbott. Additionally, Holden Novak, Diane Jenkins Abbott, and others are keen to see Audra leave the community. It wouldn't be astonishing if someone chose to target Audra with lethal intent at this point because she has amassed a large number of adversaries. Audra may be in serious peril. Even if they are successful in eradicating her from the world, Audra is undoubtedly in danger. According to Y&R teasers, the CBS soap opera is about to experience a hospital emergency, which indicates that if Audra contracts poisoning, she may be sent to Memorial. Even if she survives, she might end up in a dangerous circumstance that calls for police intervention, starting a whodunit mystery. Will Detective Burrow be in charge of the inquiry into Audra's poisoning? Given her experience with poison and her recent threats, Claire may find herself under suspicion. Check in to see what's going on with Y&R at the moment. For news, updates, and spoilers about the young and the restless, return here frequently. Michael's chaos, Claire's temptation, and Audra's resolve. Spoilers for the week of September 15th, 2025, have been released for the young and the restless. Fans may anticipate temptation for Claire Grace Newman. Michael Baldwin, meantime, finds himself in a perilous circumstance. Let's discuss the upcoming events in the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Audra Charles's willpower. First, let's talk about Audra Charles. The woman has suddenly shed a significant amount of weight. She lost both her connection with Nate Hastings and her chance to operate a business. She has lost a lot, but she isn't giving up just yet. Audra might check to see whether Nate has relaxed enough to resolve the issue. The redirection of Nate Hastings. Nate is the type of guy who would listen to Audra again. He still feels completely deceived, though, and is likely to leave. Nate might be able to talk to Victoria Newman again. Could Victoria and Nate find themselves in a familiar situation now that both characters are unmarried? Tempted. Claire Grace Newman. Claire will be tempted, according to spoilers for the week of September 15th on The Young and the Restless. It appears that Claire is unable to see through Kyle Abbott's deceit and covert transactions. Though she needs some time, Claire is aware of Kyle's affection for her. Kyle says he will give Claire that time, but he has doubts about Holden Novak. Kyle may attempt to undermine Claire's increased reliance on Holden. Week of September 15th, 2025. Additionally, fans might witness Chelsea Lawson and Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, suffer at the hands of Billy Abbott. Depending on how things work out, it sounds like Adam and Chelsea may need to revert to their cunning ways. There may be some problems with Christine Blair and Danny's wedding arrangements. Originally, October was the planned month for the wedding, but it's being rescheduled for November since the planning is taking longer than Christine anticipated. Phyllis Summers will have plenty of time to cause trouble at the impending wedding. Michael will also have to deal with a significant mess. This has everything to do with Kane Ashby and Victor Newman, even though the specifics are yet unknown. Michael might get into trouble with Lauren Baldwin as a result of his major mistake. In the week of September 15th, 2025, which narrative are you most excited to see? Post your ideas in the space provided for comments below. To find out what happens next, keep watching the soap opera on CBS or Paramount+. Sally's conscience flutters, Kane gains an ally, and Michael makes a deal with the devil. According to Friday, September 12th spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Y&R, Victor Newman receives a W. Michael Baldwin signs a contract, and Kane Ashby gains a new ally. Sally Spectre struggles with what to do regarding Billy Abbott in the meanwhile. Billy is the object of Sally's devotion, but business gets in the way. The couple disagrees, and Kane wants them to participate in a risky AI move. Billy versus Sally. Sally has to decide because Billy can only concentrate on destroying Victor Newman, Eric Braeden. She cannot claim she wasn't alerted to Billy's presence. Should she follow her conscience and leave Billy? She may find it difficult to carry out the ultimatum she gave him. How far will Sally go for Billy even if she loves him? Sally might want to remain out of the AI conspiracy, but now that she is aware of it, she might feel pressured to talk endlessly. Sally goes through a range of emotions after finding out that Jack Abbott, played by Peter Bergman, has stopped sponsoring Abbott Communications. To whom will Sally seek guidance? Kane and his AI plan. Kane discovers somewhere that he has a new criminal companion to rely on. Does Billy intend to use the AI program to draw Victor? Regarding Victor's proposal to be his plant in Kane's operation, he talks with Michael. Michael accepts Kane's offer to work as Victor's spy. Victor is happy because only he can be happy with himself. Kane is then overjoyed to have Michael as his fixer. However, he may be astute enough to anticipate this double agent plan and provide Michael with false information. What's in store for Lauren? Michael and Lauren's, Tracy Bregman, marriage cannot survive this choice. We believe that Michael will have a major setback. Will Daddy Victor save him or let him suffer the consequences? Kane is still plotting and planning, according to explosive spoilers for The Young and the Restless. We'll provide you with all the juicy facts as soon as they become available. Make sure to keep up with all of the current events on The Young and the Restless. Get comfortable and get the best soap intel on the internet by returning often for the most recent Y&R news, spoilers, and updates. Kane offers Michael a job, Kyle pops the question to Claire, and Nate dumps Audra. This is your weekly summary for the September 1st to 5th, 2025 episodes of The Young and the Restless. The Young and the Restless events. On The Young and the Restless image, JPI, Kyle asked Claire to marry him. Audra eventually told Nate on The Young and the Restless this week that she had accepted Victor's demands that she try to woo Kyle in return for money. After walking out on Audra in horror, Nate shared his problems to Victoria. Claire wanted to take things gently, so Kyle planned a romantic evening for her. When Kyle proposed, Claire was taken aback and thought it was his way of making up for his deceit concerning Audra. Claire ran into Holden and asked him to join her for a drink after telling Kyle she wanted some time to reflect. Holden avoided answering Claire's inquiries concerning his past relationship with Audra in Los Angeles. Holden prevented a physical conflict between Audra and a drunken Claire. Kyle wondered how he was going to get Audra to leave town. Victor tried to blackmail Kane, but he refused to give in. With plans to deploy the software against Jabot, Victor challenged Kane about creating an AI program that might penetrate and disrupt businesses. Victor called Victoria, Nick, and Adam to discuss how to get the AI software for their personal benefit, while Kane denied that such technology was feasible. Nick was pressured by Victoria and Adam to confide in Phyllis in order to learn more about Kane. Michael received a generous offer from Kane to become a fixer on his squad. Michael recommended that he take Kane's offer while actually working for Victor in order to save their friendship. Michael was annoyed that she would compromise their friendship, but Phyllis promised to start over if he revealed who he was working for. If Kane wanted to regain Lily's trust, she insisted that he be truthful with her. When Kane attempted to persuade Lily that he had given up on his plans for Genoa City, she abruptly left when Phyllis insisted that they speak about business. Kane yelled at Phyllis to keep out of his personal affairs. Since Nikki would also be impacted, Diane reasoned that Jack would never exact revenge on Victor. Nikki treated Victor to a romantic supper as a surprise. Billy invited Sally to live with him, and she accepted. Watch The Young and the Restless in its entirety on CBS or stream it on Paramount+. Audra Charles, a character who has centered her whole image on confidence, manipulation, and survival, may soon be the center of attention as the young and the restless gets ready for one of its most audacious twists of the year. However, even the most cunning manipulators eventually run into trouble, as new clues indicate Audra might be the victim of a startling whodunit plot that rocks Genoa City to its foundations. The introduction of a new detective, cryptic remarks, and rumors of poisoning all suggest that a murder mystery is developing, with Audra at its core as both a victim and a trigger. The number of suspects who have an interest in Audra's disappearance and the way the program has set the stage for her demise through subtly suggested language, tight rivalries, and sinister foreshadowing are what make this possible plot so intriguing. Fans may be anticipating a plot that blends traditional soap opera intrigue with contemporary suspense, establishing a narrative in which almost everyone is guilty until proven innocent, as Detective Burrow makes its premiere in October. During an encounter between Audra and Sally Spectra, the roots of this plotline were sown in what appeared to be a casual remark. Audra laughed about the potential for foaming at the mouth and suggested that Claire might add something to her drink. It appeared to be a cheeky remark at the moment, just another instance of Audra's sassy tongue. Jokes like these, however, are rarely accidental. Rather, they are typically signs of something evil, as soap opera history demonstrates. There are many traces of Claire's poisoning history, and Audra's persistent bringing it up could be more than just a plot point. In addition to reminding the audience of Claire's darker sides, it foreshadows the possibility that Audra herself could become the victim of a poisoning plot. This creates an intriguing situation. Is Claire the clear culprit, or is she just being used as the ideal scapegoat if Audra ends up being the victim? By deftly reintroducing Claire's troubled past at the ideal moment, the authors have stoked suspicion before the crime is committed. Of course, if Audra is poisoned, Claire is by no means the only suspect. Audra has been able to gather the grudges of Genoa City, like trophies. The list of possible suspects reads like a who's who of the most powerful people in town, from Victor to Jack, from Victoria Newman to Kyle Abbott, and even Diane and Holden Novak. Every one of these characters has a reason for doing what they are doing, and they have all had enough of Audra. Because she plotted her way into Kyle's personal and professional life and left a path of distrust that jeopardizes his relationship with Claire, Kyle views Audra as a symbol of manipulation and treachery. After the unsuccessful seduction attempt and the ensuing pandemonium, Victoria, Audra's former ally, might feel betrayed enough to want her gone permanently. Audra's shortcomings have placed her right in the sights of Victor, the perpetual puppet master, who has little tolerance for anyone who undervalues him. In order to shield their kid from Audra's harmful influence, Jack and Diane, who are usually preoccupied with their own family issues, have good cause to want her out of the scene. Holden Novak, however, is possibly the most convincing suspect. There has been some mystery surrounding his presence in Genoa City, and it is still unclear how he is related to Audra's history in Los Angeles. He is affable, calculating, and frequently evasive when asked about his past. The reason a character like Holden doesn't want to talk is because the truth is explosive, as viewers are aware. Is there a deeper-than-expected, unresolved matter between Holden and Audra? Would her demise present him with the chance to make amends or start over in Genoa City? Holden is particularly hazardous because of the way the program has positioned him as both unpredictable and confident. Because of his closeness to Audra and his reluctance to discuss his background, Holden would be immediately suspected if she were to suddenly collapse from poisoning. However, as the best whodunits thrive on deception, that may be just what the authors want. Detective Burrow's entrance gives the riddle an additional level of intrigue. Just the fact that Matt Cohen was cast for the part suggests that it won't be a one-off. According to Entertainment Weekly, Burrow will play a crucial role in a case involving important individuals, therefore his plot must relate to the soap opera's main families. The ideal setting for introducing him to Genoa City drama would be a poisoning case with Audra at its center. Burrow may be able to see things differently since he is inexperienced, unlike seasoned detectives who are frequently shown as cynical or overly aware with the Newman and Abbott antics. Unaffected by Jack's or Victor's influence, he might inject new life into the investigation and make the players perspire in ways they haven't in the past. Imagine Diane finding it difficult to conceal her contempt for Audra after her remarks suddenly make her appear guilty, or Victor Newman being compelled to collaborate with an investigator he cannot threaten. Because of Burrow, the mystery will not only revolve around who poisoned Audra, but also how secrets, power, and manipulation work in Genoa City when someone dares to question the status quo. There could be severe consequences if Audra does end up as a victim. She would probably be sent to Memorial Hospital after being poisoned, starting a stressful race against time to see if she lives. High drama on Y&R has traditionally thrived on hospital scenes, which provide the opportunity for bedside confessions, whispered suspicions, and confrontations in waiting rooms. Imagine Claire, who maintains she had nothing to do with it, confronting Kyle after he stormed into the hospital to demand answers. Imagine Victoria walking the halls, feeling both relief and remorse. She may have wanted Audra gone, but she never thought things would get this bad. Even Sally, who laughed at Audra's joke about poisoning only days before the occurrence, may be pulled further into the mystery. In addition to the question of who did it, viewers would be tense about will she survive? Given that a character like Audra is both hated and adored for her capacity to stir things up, the ambiguity around her future keeps the stakes extremely high. In daytime drama, poisoning themes are uncommon yet powerful because they convey a sense of sophistication and forethought. Poisoning necessitates preparation, access, and intent in contrast to an unplanned shooting or an impulsive act of violence. Because symptoms might be confused for illnesses, accidents, or even stress, it also permits misdirection. The creators of the program might easily construct a convoluted plot so that Audra's collapse isn't instantly linked to foul play, allowing suspects to hide their identities before Detective Burrow connects everything together. Was the drink at Society tainted? At the Abbott Mansion, a tainted glass of wine? Or something more subtle, like a prescription bottle of poison being used in place of medicine? Each of the countless options presents a fresh method of entangling suspects in falsehoods and partial truths. Despite all of her shortcomings, Audra has been one of Y&R's more interesting additions lately, so it makes sense to build a mystery around her. Because of her ambition, ruthlessness, and lack of remorse, she is both easy to despise and impossible to ignore. She may become even softer or harder as a result of the event, depending on whether she survives the attempted murder. Maybe she comes out resolved to track down her would-be murderer and get her own kind of retribution. Or perhaps she manipulates those around her by playing the victim, turning the compassion she gets into newfound authority. In any case, Audra's possible poisoning might operate as a reset button for her character, allowing for fresh trajectories while maintaining her strong connection to the main plots of the series. The fact that this potential whodunit affects not only Audra but also every area of Genoa City is ultimately what makes it so thrilling. Everyone has a stake in the result, including the Abbotts and even outsiders like Holden and Sally. Detective Burrow's entrance indicates that the plot will be driven by justice, or at least the pursuit of it. For viewers, the enjoyment is in taking on the role of detective, looking for flaws in every comment, every glance, and every alibi. Y&R thrives when it blends mystery with human drama, and Audra Charles's possible poisoning might be the ideal combination of the two.